Hi everyone, Will from A&B here, and today I'm reviewing the all-new Pivot Trail 429 Enduro. This is a bike that did exist in Pivot's lineup, but the bike we have here features a brand new frame with a new linkage layout. There's plenty of details to discuss, so let's get into it. The 429 Enduro sits in a niche space that is shorter travel bikes that are overforked by more than 10mm. Up front is a 140mm Fox 36 with the Grip 2 damper, and in the rear is Fox's DPX2 shock, which provides 120mm of travel. These bikes also feature aggressive geometry that's usually found on longer travel bikes. Other bikes in this category include the Norco Optic and the Banshee Phantom. In terms of where the 429 Enduro sits in Pivot's range, below the Enduro Spec 429 you have the regular 429 Trail, which features a more conventional Fox 34 in a 130mm length. In the next travel bracket up from the 429 Enduro, you have both the Mark 5.5 as well as the much lauded Switchblade. The 429's frame is a really sorted package, and you can tell great effort has gone into refining the little details. The bolted-in cable ports are in a great spot for the cables to enter smoothly, and there's no less than 3 places you could mount a bottle cage or other accessories. Other neat touches include the down tube, seat tube and chainstay protection, which kept the bike protected and quiet throughout testing. The major change to the 429 frame is moving the shock from a horizontal orientation to a vertical orientation. Not only does this affect the kinematics by providing more progression and improved pedaling performance, but this change also allows for a lower standover height and for the space for a full-size water bottle in the front triangle of all sizes. The Fox factory suspension is complemented with Fox's transfer dropper post, which ranges in size depending on the frame size. In the drivetrain and brakes department, it's no surprise that the Pro X01 model I tested came with a full complement of SRAM components. The full X01 drivetrain, with the exception of the GX cassette, worked perfectly throughout testing, and I'm a big fan of the modulation on offer with SRAM's G2 4-pot RSC brakes. The 429 Enduro came with 180mm rotors front and rear across the board, so if you did want a bit more stopping power you could put larger rotors on. Moving on to the wheels, I'm a massive fan of alloy DT Swiss wheels, and the XM 1700 wheels performed exactly as I thought they would. Pivot have chosen to spec the Enduro builds with Maxxis dissector tyres front and rear in the 2.4-inch size. I think this is a great choice out of the box that signals the 429's aggressive intent, but still maintains enough rolling speed to keep the bike feeling lively. The EXO casings are no doubt chosen to keep the weight down, however I could see some riders pushing the 429 Enduro hard enough that heavier duty casings would be needed, particularly in the rear. In terms of the overall build, I had no real complaints out of the box, which is good considering the bike's high asking price of $11,999. Out on the trail, the 429 Enduro is an absolute hoot. The bike pedals really well thanks to the DW Link suspension and steeper 75-degree seat tube angle. And whilst the DPX2 shock features 3 pedaling positions, I'd only consider locking the shock out for extended periods of riding on the road, and even then I wouldn't say it's overly necessary. The 429 Enduro is a bike that's at its best when you're engaged with the trail, pumping for speed. The Fox 36 up front provides great support for both big hits and resisting flex under braking loads, whilst the rear suspension strikes a great balance of tracking the ground well, whilst also providing good support and ability to pump the bike for speed. The 429 Enduro also shines in steep, smooth descents. With its slightly shorter travel and more agile geometry, including a 65.5-degree head angle matched with a 470mm reach in the size large, the 429 Enduro slices around tight turns on steep trails, whilst the burly suspension package keeps things tracking straight and resists flex. The 432mm chainstays make the bike easy to manual and turn quickly and are a good fit for a bike in this travel bracket, although I wouldn't want to go any shorter in the larger sizes. As you'd expect, the 429 Enduro isn't the best bike for sustained rough and fast descents. Whilst terrain like this finds the limits of the 429 Enduro, particularly in the rear suspension, with smart light choices you're able to navigate these sections and continue to exploit the bike's strengths when the trail smooths out, steepens up or slows down. The 429 Enduro is a lively companion on undulating trails. The precise front end and relatively low weight, combined with the bike's agile handling, to allow you to make quick direction changes on blind and twisty trails. Whilst on truly smooth and less technical terrain, riding the regular 429 trail would probably be the faster choice, the 429 is clearly aimed at riders who enjoy maximising the fun out of their riding, rather than maximising efficiency. The 429 Enduro really excels in technical climbs with its relatively low weight and planted suspension. The DW Link is great at delivering traction without sapping your energy or stalling you on ledgy climbs. And the sturdy chassis and fork on the 429 Enduro allow you to throw the bike at obstacles more recklessly than you could on a regular trail bike or cross-country bike. Overall, the 429 Enduro is a fun bike that's capable of far more than its travel would suggest. On anything other than the most technical descents, the 429 Enduro is incredibly capable and is far more engaging for general trail riding. The 429 Enduro would suit an aggressive rider who likes to choose their lines carefully to maximise speed, as well as pump and work terrain to their advantage. The 429 Enduro I have here is the Pro X01 model, and as I said, it retails for $11,999 in Australia. There's heaps of models of both the regular 429 Trail and the 429 Enduros in the Australian range. Full builds start at $8,499 and escalate to a whopping $18,999. If you'd like to know more about the Pivot 429 Enduro, click the link below to read my full written review, and don't forget to subscribe to AMB for more video reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.